Welcome back. It's another week, another stream, and I'm that fantasy chick. And did you have the day off? I didn't. But thankfully, I'll have tomorrow off for the 4th. Um, but even though I didn't have today off, it was a slow day because everybody else took today off. So it was super duper quiet. It was super duper quiet. It was like nobody was there. Nobody was there. It was just me and a few of the other plebes who didn't get a chance to take Monday off. So whatever, whatever. Um, and I think the last time I saw you guys was for my birthday stream. I had fun. It was fun. We played entertainment trivia and went through the last episodes of Gotham Knights and um, Superman and Lois until, you know, well, Gotham Knights is not coming back, but Superman and Lois is. And we talked about Secret Invasion as well. So now, from now on, the only thing we'll have on Wednesday is Secret Invasion. But today I'm going to be talking about Miss Marvel. The last couple of episodes I finally watched the last 2 episodes of Miss Marvel. But before that, more shenanigans with HBO Max. So when they switched over from HBO Max to just Max, they took away creator credits. Instead of giving people, writer, director, producer credits, they just called it creator. And instead of giving them their actual correct credits. So, people were all up in arms about that, as well they should be. So they're finally giving people their correct credits back. So as usual, I have an article. Here we go. Okay. Warner Brothers is starting to fix Max's dreadful creator credits. Suffice it to say, it was just one of many issues the studios and its streamer have been facing lately. It's not exactly been the greatest of times public relations wise when it comes to Warner Brothers lately, whether it's The Flash speeding headfirst into disaster, its CEO becoming the perpetual media industry villain of the week. He earned that title. Or HBO Max's troubled relaunch as Simply Max. But a small glimmer of news, a small glimmer of good news. It's mostly that it's fixing another headache of its own making, though. Max's recent relaunch saw credits on the streamer condensed into a flat creator tab, making it impossible for audiences to tell the difference between directors, producers, writers, and other involved creatives, but also a very bad look for the streamer, just as the WGA writer's strike was beginning to get underway. The streamer apologized after a swath of industry outcry, but Variety reports that Max is only just now getting around to tweaking what the studio had previously described as an oversight in the technical transition from HBO Max to Max. I do not believe that. Rolling out now on the service, the creators section on individual movie and TV show episode pages, not however on overall TV show landing pages, will denote different credits for directors, producers, and source material when appropriate. It's a small move in the right direction and the rare bit of good news for a studio that has been pummeled by bad news in recent months. Looks like boss David Zaslav's professed love of working got something sorted, even if it did take over a month, even if it was his fault in the first place. Okay, you say, so you got to get your trivia knowledge up for next birthday. Yes. Yes, that was fun. The trivia game was fun. I enjoyed that very much. Um Max is super glitchy because one thing I don't understand is, like, you know how when you watch they want you to watch these shows, right? And when you watch something on from HBO Max, they have a continue watching. Like, once you start watching something and you stop, they'll have the show in a continue watching list. Well, when I try to do something like that from Discovery, like Mythbusters, it doesn't show up in the continue watching list. So I have to remember where I left off at, and I have to constantly go back. And it's a headache. It's a headache to not have it just right there in the continue watching list. And it's like, I'm going out of my way to watch this when I already didn't want to. And I'm only doing it because it's Mythbusters, because I'm a fan of Mythbusters, and I wanted to watch all these seasons. And this is the only place where they have all the seasons of Mythbusters. So I'm like, okay, well, since I got it and I'm paying for it, I'm going to watch it. And then you have this glitchy mess. Glitchy mess. Continue watching will lock you in as 2 episodes back from where you really are. Glitchy mess. It's a glitchy mess. Yeah. They really need to just go back to being HBO Max. It was much better before. It was just Max. Just Max is just a mess. It's a hot ass mess. So I want my HBO Max back. So I watched the last 2 episodes of Miss Marvel. So the episode 5 was episode in the past, was mostly in the past. And it showed the story of her great grandmother and her great grandfather and how they got together and blah, 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 blah. And they never actually say why she separated herself from the clandestines, but I guess we're supposed to infer that she sort of knew that they were evil all along, because she separated herself from them and built this life, and she was like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to be with them. Because they were looking for her, but she wasn't looking for them. So she built a whole life on Earth, but they said she had the key to go home in her bangle, and she didn't even try. She could have left without them, but she built herself a whole new life. See, these things, if she had the key to going back, why didn't she leave without them if she really thought that they were truly gone? Questions. But that they were bad people, But at the same time, she had the key to going back to where they were from, and she didn't go. She never explains why she stayed on Earth. Sorry, my sinuses have been acting up all day. Ugh. Oh, and of course they come back right now. Oh, well, that's very helpful. I wish you could remember because I don't know. So she starts this whole new life, and then we see where they come back. They find her, and she decides, okay, we need to go before they come back the next night and take her away. So she packs up all their things, and they're gonna go for the last train. And she gives the bangle to the little girl and tell her to keep it safe. Um, that's another thing. The little girl drops the bangle. So if the little girl drops the bangle, did she pick it back up at some point? How did she get the bangle? These are questions I have. These are questions I have. Um, because apparently, I mean, she obviously had the bangle because she sends it to Kamala, but she just drops it on the ground. And she didn't have it in her hands when she was sent back to her father. It was way back there. So little details like that bother me. They bother me and they bug me. Whenever people just leave stuff behind, I'm like, I can't I can't suspend my disbelief. I'm like, you have to go back and you have to grab that for me to be okay. Otherwise, I'm like, it's just sitting there. So so we learn that the stars that led her grandmother back to her great grandfather was Kamala all along, which was a oh, well, I don't want to say the word, which was just crazy because it's like it's kind of like Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and this in this indeterminable time loop where they, you know, they caused stuff to happen because they went back and did it in the past with the time turner, and it's like, but she was told in her, it's again, it's very much like Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the way that worked out. So she helped guide her grandmother to her great grandfather using her power and using the bangle, her being in the past. And she actually got to speak to her great grandmother before her great grandmother died. So that's what happened to the great grandmother. Because I was always wondering what happened to the great grandmother. Why do we see all these other clandestines and we don't see her great grandmother? Especially if they're still alive. She should still be alive. Where's the great grandmother? They killed her. And that should have been question number one. If I was Kamala and I was like, okay, y'all still alive, what happened to my great grandmother? Why isn't she with you? That would have been question number one. Because I have questions, but I have questions. These are valid questions. That don't stop them from being valid just because it's your favorite show. Yes, that was that was cute. That was cute. Um, okay, here we go. Okay, so they were banished. If they were banished, then why did they want to go back? What did they think was going to be different when they went back? See, now I have more questions. What would they think was going to be different when they go back now compared to when they were banished? Were they coming back with some different sort of power? Were the people who banished them dead? I just, you know, if they were banished, why all of a sudden could they now go back? Banished is banished, but now they could go back because they want to. So I'm yeah, I have questions. So so that was cute. So we get back to the modern day, and the veil has been torn. And of course, the Black woman has to be the first one to die trying to get through the veil, burnt up to a crisp. And this is how we find out that if they try to go through to go back to their home, that would kill them. And so I forget her name, but the leader wanted to go anyway, and Kamala tried to stop her. She was like, "If you do, you're gonna die." And she convinces her to close the veil, like, "Help me close the veil." And she was like, "I can close it. There's only one way I can do it." Somehow, she figures out how to go into it, close the veil, and sends the power from the veil into her son Cameron, who's still in America, just by calling his name. And now he has powers within him. Knocks him out. But closes the veil. And as the veil closes, there's Kamala's mother and grandmother. Because they've tracked her using the "Where's my iPhone" feature. Or did they say iPhone? Where's my phone? Whatever they said. It was "Where's my iPhone." We know what it was supposed to be. And to do. So crazy thing. Now that the mother knows the truth, all of a sudden she's cool, mom. Now that she knows that her daughter has these powers and she's a superhero and she's going around and she's nightlight, she's cool, mom. If she's no longer grounded. She no longer they're no longer mad at her, no longer suspicions of her. She's there, they're going around showing pictures of her and the rebel she used to be and talking about her love of Bon Jovi and da 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 da. They're having all these bonding moments and his beautiful mother-daughter moments. And I'm like, she flipped on a dime. on a dime she flipped. This is not the mother she's been for the past 5 episodes. This is a completely new character. A completely new character. I don't care what you say. This is a completely new character. She's completely new. Now, when you in the next episode, when you go back, the father is the same because the father has been this goofy all along. But the mother, completely different character. The mother has not been this goofy. The father has been goofy. The mother has been a completely different person. She changed personalities. She changed to a whole new personality when she found out Kamala was a superhero. So to go home now, her whole family knows she's the nightlight superhero. And while she's there, they discovered that Bruno's missing and the Circle Q's been exploded because Cameron had gone there. And Damage Control, who's done nothing but cause a whole bunch of damage themselves, caused them to, it has basically exploded out the Circle Q trying to get to Cameron. So, what is her name? Her friend called her and told her that. So she's like, oh, I gotta go look for Bruno. But then the mother brings her, this mother, different personality mother, brings her a costume to wear. Her, something she brought from her grandmother's home because it was in that the toffee box that was laying all around the house. $180, $360 takes you right back to the same spot. The mom did a 180. She did a complete 180. Yes. Nakia. Okay. So the friend, I guess Nakia called. And so they got together. And she got on the costume that her mother either made or got for her, whatever. Mother presented her with a costume. So she puts on the costume and she goes looking for Bruno and Cameron. And then Bruno and Cameron goes to the mosque. The mosque hides them from the Damage Control until she can send them till they can go to the high school. And Kamala meets them along the way. And along the way, she calls her home old dude from the Red Daggers and like, I need to get Cameron out of the country and blah, 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 blah. So he's like, I can get somebody. I know somebody, just get him to the docks or something like that by midnight. So there's that. So they go to the high school and have this big all-out confrontation with Damage Control, even though the woman's boss told her to back down and walk away. We do not need this publicity. It's like the whole part. It's like when your name is Damage Control and you already have, and you're not doing damage control, you're just doing more damage. You need to step back and reevaluate your life. Like maybe I'm not good at my job. Because she was not good at her job. She was doing more damage and she was up against teenagers. When you're doing more damage than teenagers, you really are not good at your job. So then there was the whole blow up. And she so there was a big fight. Cameron, was using his powers to like not, he was using his powers to take people out. So Kamala had to shield, had to stop him from hurting people while shielding him from bullets. Whole thing had to do double duty. I hated the agents on the show too. When I saw that when I saw that little card they put up before the show that some people are not going to like some scenes in this show, I was like, it has something to do with those damage control people and something they're going to do to the Muslims. Because what else? What other scenes are we just not going to like? And I was like, them going through the mosque and she telling people to bust locks and break locks in the mosque. It's not a good look. And going into a high school, guns a-blazing, not a good look. Especially the way they tore that high school up, they are not going to be able to go to school the next day or Monday. I don't know if this is a weekend. If it's the weekend, there ain't no school Monday. They tore that school up. School is going to be out for a few weeks. No school. They tore that school up. Who's going to pay for that? Does damage control pay for that? Who's paying for that? Who's going to put that school back together? So after she does double duty, controlling Cameron and shielding him from damage control, Kamala was doing the real damage control. She convinces him to go to the docks and meet with Homeboy's agent to get out of the country. And then the damage control decides to go after her, but the crowd shields her with their body. And she was about to go after her. They was about to come through the crowd after her, but she got on her light and ran away. And her boss called her and was like, dude, you're fired. I told you to walk away and you didn't. And now you made us look bad. You went after a bunch of teenagers and made us look bad on national television. What are you doing? You are so fired. Go away. And so fired, which is what she deserved. As the meme says, it's what she deserved. So then the episode, then after that was just a whole bunch of conclusions. Well, just a bunch of montages, conclusions, showing people, and they showed Cameron made it to the Red Dagger. So, a Red Dagger and a clandestine have to work together. How that's going to work out. And then, but the thing that gets me is they end the show with her bangle going crazy, her flying into her closet, and when it pops up, it's Captain Marvel. So I'm trying to figure out, did she become Captain Marvel, or did she change places with Captain Marvel? Did the bangle make her change places with Captain Marvel? So she went where Captain Marvel was and Captain Marvel came into her room. I'm trying to figure out, how did she disappear and Captain Marvel appeared. Questions. I have questions. A lot of layers. It did have a lot of layers. Um, all of their energy is connected somehow. Hmm, that's interesting. Um, it's not that I don't like the ending episodes. It's just that, I mean, well, like I said, I mean, the conclusions are giving me questions. All of these things are giving me questions. As far as the series goes, I put it right up there with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier as far as how much I like it. Um, it's about the same weight for me as that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. To me, it's about the same quality of show as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and so I liked it like that. And and I and I don't think it was the middle episodes are better than the last episodes. I think definitely uh the second through sixth episodes is definitely better than the first, because like that first episode I almost was ready to not watch the rest. But after that, 2 through 6 was better than 1 for me. But yeah, it's right up there with Falcon and the Winter Soldier for me. And probably because it's it's playing the same sort of role, because Falcon and the Winter Soldier leads into the Captain American 4, whereas this is leading into the Marvels. So it's playing sort of the same role, and setting and setting up this character, introducing this character, and giving her a backstory, and so we won't have to do that in the movie. Take time away from the movie. A letter grade. I don't know. Like I said, I liked. It's up there with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I really like that. And so that's like a A- for me. You know, Falcon and Winter Soldier was A- for me. So, well, there's still Teyana Paris. I don't know what the name of her character is, but Lord, I forget. I mean, what the name of her super character is, and I forget the name of her actual character. But there's her, and it will be good because of her too. I like her. So, um, so I I I factor. I mean, she's actually a great big factor into what makes me interested in seeing the Marvels. Monica Rambeau. Yeah, there we go. Monica Rambeau is a huge factor into why I want to see this show. So Spectrum. Okay, so that's her name. Her name is Spectrum. Okay, so Spectrum. So we have Spectrum, Miss Marvel, and Captain Marvel. Even though I am very salty that she gets to be called Captain Marvel and Shazam is and they call Shazam Shazam, even though his name should be Captain Marvel. He's Captain Marvel. He's not Shazam. Shazam is what he says, not who he is. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go because who knows if that's gonna come back around in this new universe that James Gunn is playing. Um, well, I heard one of the actors in it gave it high praise, but I'm like, but that's from an actor who's in it. One of the actors in it, she put it on there. She's like, this is on a whole nother level, and I'm like, yeah, but you're in it, so you're not very objective, are you? So I can't take your word for it. You're in it. But I guess, I guess she was like, I wouldn't speak so highly of a project unless I truly meant it. But okay. So yeah, so that's all for Miss Marvel. Finish that one up. Wednesday will be Invasion. And Friday will be another video. Um, so boy, this invasion show is every week it feels like it's gonna every week it's gonna be something else. I'm gonna I can't wait to see how this whole Samuel L. Jackson and his this wife situation turns out. And if they're going to give us a flashback to explain that, they're probably going to give us a flashback to explain the wife situation. So that's going to be a good thing. But you're not excited to watch Invasion. I am because I want to see the flashback that explains the wife. But okay, I'm about to run out of batteries. So um so okay. So in the meantime, thanks for watching.